Von Allen Sports.
This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching Von Allen Sports. Real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go!
How's it going, guys? All right. Let's see. As usual, wait just a second and let the notification thing go out. Let's see. Welcome. Pickle Dick's here in the house. Yes, the Washington football team. Yes. Oh my God. Here we go. Just a fair warning. Well, you guys know the drill. I don't even have to say it. See It Twice is here. Michael McDermott. Rams have no answers against physical football teams. Absolutely. Completely agree with you. Fuck You Google is here. John Thomas Chavez is here. The Minuteman. Tiffany. What's up, Tiffany? Ozymandias. How you doing, man? Blacker 58. Israel. Boy, is your team good. Cowboys looking good. Mike Miller. Oh, I will not get the jab. Welcome. Welcome, brother. Turbulent Velocity. Hello. Our newest employee, by the way. I just want to let you guys know. Turbulent Velocity now works for Von Allen Sports. Her name is also Sherry, and she'll be doing a lot of stuff for us as far as reporting and getting us information and all kinds of interesting things. So we'll have her on the show sometime soon on a VAS Live, an official VAS Live show. Boston Sports Talk, what's up, man? Lorenzo Vasquez Solis. Hey, what's up? Lord Darkside. What the hell happened to the Bucs? Oh, we'll get to that. Okay, so yeah, I know it's late for most of you guys. It's the nature of the post games. On Monday nights, if there's a game that I think is worthy, I go ahead and wait to do the wrap up on Monday nights. And I thought tonight's game was pretty damn good. So, and it turned out exactly like I thought. Not in the way of a beatdown, but I thought the 49ers could win this. Several reasons why. And you know what? While we're still waiting on people to get on, I'm just going to start with the Monday night game real quick while it's fresh in my mind. The 49ers finally look like who we thought they should be and what they're supposed to be. And the Rams, I thought I picked the 49ers to win. And I'm not going to say or act like I knew it was a certainty that was going to happen because, I mean, did anybody really? But I just felt good about it. When you got a division game and you people are familiar with each other, and you add on Robert Woods going out and OBJ, them trying to force that, all the attention they were getting with adding Von Miller and all those things, and they had to go to San Francisco, so it's not like, traveling takes you off your whole habits and things like that. Just all those things combined, I thought if San Francisco could steal something from a good team, it's this one. And they did that. I had no idea it would be that big of a beatdown. But people need to understand that you can't. Okay, I don't want to say you can't ever, because it's happened sometimes. But normally you can't just buy a championship. Okay, and I can appreciate Tampa Bay. I can appreciate LA going out, getting all these guys. They saw the Bucs, last year play the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl in their own stadium. First time it's ever been done. And now the Super Bowl is going to be in SoFi Stadium this year. And they see that opportunity and they want it right now. And they know they have a great Super Bowl window open for them. But you can't just grab every single dude that becomes available. You have to make sure that they fit the atmosphere and fit where they're going, and are they going to get along there? Are you even playing the right kind of offense for that player? I mean, it seems like a player, becomes available. Oh my God, the Rams have got to get it, and it makes no difference, and it's just really bizarre, in certain ways. But like I said, I can understand, I could appreciate going after free agents. And making trades and stuff. I'm big on that. In fact, I'm more big on free agency and trading than I am the draft when it comes to certain positions. But with that said, it doesn't mean you take every single guy that comes up just because they've got a name. All right. And you also have to remember there's a reason why those other teams are getting rid of these guys. OBJ, he's still he's young. So why does he keep failing? Why does he keep sucking everywhere he goes? And Von Miller, I don't know. I mean, other than a non-Patriots player, Von Miller's my favorite defensive player in the league, but I just don't think he's the same Von Miller. But you go and okay, you trade for him. All right, well, I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But they seem desperate to me. They seem, like last year when the Bucs, Tom came there, but the Bucs already had, a lot of good players, and then Tom brought those players over. He knew that they would fit. So those players, Tom brought Gronk in because he knew it'd work. AB knew it would work. He liked Leonard Fournette's style. Now look, Leonard Fournette is actually the starter. So those were calculated moves. Those were moves that were, and Jason Light's a very good general manager, but it remains to be seen. Like I said, one game. All right. It's a weird week. That's why I picked the 49ers. So I'm not going to get crazy on them or anything like that on the Rams. But I just don't think you can it's not a magic, a magic wand that you just wave and say, oh, look, we got all these guys and now we're going to win the Super Bowl. It doesn't work like that. So, and Matthew Stafford, what the hell's going on with him? He made some really weird throws tonight. But hats off to the 49ers. I mean, they played finally like they're supposed to. So, and of course, Jimmy G, I'm partial to him. I like seeing him play well. So that's always good too. All right, let's see if we got anybody else tonight. Eddie Carnes, what's up, man? Hey, Scotland. We got someone from Scotland. That's awesome. Mike Miller's here. Lord Varsh, Thomas Allen, Brandon Burkart. Probably butchered his last name just now. Jana Nikolova, hello. Mike, that's a good comparison there. He says this Rams going to be Peyton's Broncos. Miller is DeMarcus Ware, Odell is Sanders, and Stafford is Manning, and Ramsey is Talib. I see what you mean by that. It could be. So, although, well, Stafford is probably better at this point than Peyton was during Super Bowl 50, the 2015 season. What's up, Anthony Preston? Nash Lawn is here. Jalen is here. SM Down 9. Phil Williamson. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange situation. Jalen asked who's an MVP right now. Welcome, Nightly Sinister. Kevin, nice to see you here again, man. Appreciate it. He asked me who is MVP. That's true, Mike. That's true. It's a good point. Well, no one seems to want the MVP. So every time we have somebody who seems to be taken off with it or is the clear cut, obvious guy, they just piss it away. So I'm not sure. Now it's week 10. I promise you guys after week 10 on Wednesday I will calculate. We'll see where all the quarterbacks are. So it's that time again to do that and see, because let's see, it can't be done on Tuesday. It has to be done on Wednesday because there's particular stats that I look for that are not updated until Wednesdays. I don't, for whatever reason why, I don't know why they do it like that, but they do. So on Wednesday, so that means on the Saturday show, and I can even probably post them in the chat section. So, but to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, the other day I would have said between Lamar Jackson and Tom, but like I said, these teams from week to week seem to want to piss away the MVP like nobody's business. And then you got, other position players, but it's always going to go to the quarterback from now on. It's a quarterback trophy at this point, isn't it? So Tyree Vaughn, what's up, man? Milena, could you bring me Tyree's gift? Yeah, see it twice. Dak, I'm looking forward to seeing Dak's results in the formula. I'm actually curious about that. And I tell you what, rookie of the year right now, at least out of quarterbacks, is Mac Jones. And of course, we'll talk about that here in a second. So Tyree Vaughn sent me this. This is so cool. I really appreciate this, man. But he sent me, of course, you guys know how much I love Coke, right? He sent me this, and it's a can with a handle, so I can put different. Actually, this is going to be very useful for me. I'm going to put a lot of ice in this thing. You got 2 cups, the straws, pretzels. I can't wait to see what these taste like. I didn't want to open it yet because I wanted to show you guys. And the coolest thing is the bottle opener, because the bottle opener we have is terrible. It absolutely sucks. So this one is like it's like Chael Sonnen when he says, "Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck." Well, our can opener sucks, or our bottle opener sucks. Thank you so much, Tyree. And yeah, I wanted to bring you on the Saturday night show, and I couldn't have. I wasn't available to have one that night. But dude, I just want to say that what you wrote meant a lot to me, and Milena, it was really, really awesome. And I'd love to have you call in. I figure you probably want to do that on the Saturday show though, where everyone we could do it earlier, so because it's really awesome. Let's see here. Somebody writing somebody off. Who said that? Jalen asked, "Can you predict who will win each division in the AFC?" I sure can. As of right now, the Buffalo Bills are still going to win the AFC East, but the Patriots are going to make the playoffs, so don't worry about that. It's going to be fine. The Ravens have got their division. That's just too easy. The Titans have got their division. That's easy. And the one that is very interesting is the AFC West, but I know people are down on the Chiefs, but I'm not. I'm not done with them. I I think they're going to be fine. And it's not even the Raiders game last night, although they did look better. But it's not the Raiders game. I just think teams like that they can correct things on the way to the end. And when you get closer to the playoffs, if you've got so many good players and you've got a pretty good coach and you got stability, it's going to get better. I still like the Chiefs for that division. So there you go. But if I know a lot of y'all probably want me to say the Patriots. I looked at their schedule. I looked at the rest of it today because I was kind of curious if it was possible. But you have to remember that the Bills have a very similar schedule. And I don't know. I mean, one thing, if I say it's going to be the Patriots, is that going to, I don't know, it just sounds a little rah rah, sis boom ball kind of thing. And I just don't know if I believe that yet. So. But I do think they're going to make the playoffs, so it doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't matter if they win the division or not because they're not going to get the number one seed. So if you don't get the number one seed, I mean, do you have to play on the road? Do you have to play at home? Has home really mattered for the Patriots this year? Not really. Doesn't seem to matter where they play. That doesn't seem to be the deciding factor. It just seems to be about the team and how they are, and they're getting much better. And so I don't think it's going to matter in that regard. So the seventh seed or sixth or seventh seed, fifth seed, whatever. Of course, preferably fifth seed because then you can get a home game. But again, like I just said, does it really matter? This is a different team than Tom Brady's team. So we don't know. We need to see how they're going to act and how they're going to be. We need to see how Mac Jones is going to act and going to be because when it comes to Super Bowls and playoffs, the quarterback is everything, and we got to know how he's going to react. And I mean, right now I'm absolutely thrilled. But you know what? I'm more amused by all these pundits who were crapping all over the Patriots and saying, and those draft guys on ESPN, they talking about how Mac Jones was a reach at a mid round. Really, a reach? Okay, he's the best player in the draft right now. The best player. Okay, come on. So that's interesting, but I just still think it's the Bills' division to lose here. So I think to answer your question, I think Mac um, is very very similar to Tom when Tom was starting out. And just to be clear, I am not saying that he is going to be Tom Brady. That is stupid. There's not going to be another Tom Brady. That's not going to happen. But only in the fact that the trajectory there looks good. And when Tom first took over against the Jets in week 2, he didn't throw a touchdown pass till when? What was it? Till week 4, I think. I think it was week 4 against the Chargers, right? He didn't even have a touchdown pass against the Colts, which was week 3, and actually he didn't play that good of a game. But there was ups and downs, and then it kind of clicked when they played the Rams. Now, of course, this is 2001, so my memory might be a little fuzzy on what games came first, but we played the Rams, and they were the defending. Well, they were the champions 2 years before that, and had Kurt Warner not gotten hurt, they probably would have been in 2000, or that would have at least been interesting to see how they would have done against the Ravens in the Super Bowl. But by the time Tom and the team got to play the Rams, they went toe to toe with those guys, and everything seemed to click after that, and they didn't lose another game all year. They went all the way to the Super Bowl and won it. So that's the best case scenario, but the point is that there was the trajectory was correct. It was just started out kind of iffy, started out kind of weird, and let's keep in mind that Tom had an entire year within the system and within the league to watch Drew Bledsoe. Mac has been thrusted into this immediately, and he didn't even know he was the starter until later on. It's not like he came in like Trevor Lawrence knew he was going to be the starter, right? So Mac still was kind of unsure, and then he's been the guy ever since. With all that said, I like it. I like the trajectory he's gone. I think this guy's mature as hell. He does not seem like a rookie until you see him do his interviews, and then he does. That's because he's got one of those young faces. But this guy, if there was a guy who just was who seemed to carry that Tom Brady thing, the way Tom came in and the way he was and stuff, other than the fact that Mac was a first round pick. But come on, they both came from big schools. They played well under pressure. They had a good, stable system that they played in. And with Tom's case, he had to do that even while having to share time with Drew Henson for how many seasons. So Matt comes from Nick Saban, which is the Belichick of college coaching. And man, it just seems so similar. And I just don't want to say it too much because I don't want to put it out there like that. But it's hard to not notice the similarities. It's really interesting. Let's see here. What are you guys talking about? Mike Jones and Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels' offensive scheme and playbook is impressive and underrated enough. Yeah, and how about Cam though? Cam's back with the Panthers. That was interesting. Now my sister was at the Cardinals-Panthers game yesterday, and she was third row on the 50-yard line, right behind the Panthers bench. She was sending me photos and video clips, and she was telling me that Mac, well, it's Mac spelled backwards. Cam, the way he worked with the team and the coaches and the way his energy level and his personality and stuff, she just said it was really impressive. So, I just think that he belongs there. It kind of works for him. And goodbye to Sam Darnold, right? Israel sends a $2 super chat, the first super chat of the night. He says, thoughts on Dallas at Kansas City next week. Israel, I'm sorry, but I need to see Dallas really do something with this, with a situation like this where you've got a team that's so high profile as the Kansas City Chiefs. I need to see them get it done. So I tell you what, let me take a look at both teams, how they're performing as far as statistically. I want to look at all sides of the ball on that one, and I will give you my pick on Saturday's show. Or you know what? I might give you my pick on Thursday night, the post game after the Patriots. So, deal? How about that? Because I don't want to just if I gave you a pick right now, I'd just be guessing. And that, I mean, what's that worth, right? What's the point of doing that? So I'll get back to you on that one. I just randomly saw a comment. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about, but it interests me. Oh, Michael McDermott says Ocho Cinco never ran routes the right way. He was part of the reason that Carson Palmer wanted out of Cincinnati. You have to understand that Cincinnati program was terrible, and Chad Johnson wasn't coached properly. Neither was AJ Green. And even when I know we talked about this before, but even when T.O. went to Cincinnati, his biggest complaint was that it was a lot of the way things went in that offensive system was really stupid and elementary, and people knew what was coming, and the routes were basic. And so if you didn't have physical talent and a lot of it, teams would basically grasp onto it really quickly. And what that means is, well, one, it's a compliment to Ocho Cinco how well he did in that terrible franchise. But had he been somewhere else, you can only imagine how good he would have been. Let's say that he would have been, with Peyton Manning or Tom Brady his whole career. That would have been frightening. Same with AJ Green as well. OBJ, as far as OBJ goes, I see you guys mention him a lot. He's never done anything to impress me, ever. Ever since that stupid ass catch on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. Okay, that was a cool looking catch, all right? But what does it matter? How many Super Bowl MVPs does this dude have? How many records does he have? How many times does he help the team, reach or get, in a playoff game and get to the next level and get to the next round? What significance has he ever done? Okay, dude, you have a cool catch on a regular season Monday night game. And ever since then, it's like this guy has been a god. He's been treated, like he's Megatron or it's just, or this, I'm sorry, the second coming of Jerry Rice. And it's sometimes, it's just ridiculous. And I don't know, just this hype with this guy. But with Chad, when he got to the Patriots, he just didn't understand the playbook. He didn't get it. He wasn't coached, well enough to understand these deep concepts and memorization and kind of knowing how things work. It's just and look what he was able to do in Cincinnati without that level of stuff. So. And then you saw AJ Green's dumbass the other night, not even understanding situational football, not turning around for a pass. Freaking idiot. See, that's Cincinnati right there, baby. So now, how about this? If Cam is starting, which I think probably will be, against the Bucs, do I get to dress up like Cam again? Milena? Is Milena around? Yeah. Do I get to dress like? I can't even see it because that damn light. Do I get to dress up as Cam if he's starting against the Bucs? Does that count?
Yes.
Okay.
Cam is Cam.
Because if that's the case, then we need to go shopping because we need to go to that old lady babushka store.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. We have an old It's a clothing store for old Russian women, and you can get everything you need to look like Cam at that store. So Sam Darnold sucks. Thank you, Turbulent Velocity. Sherry says Cam is being prepped to start next week. That's what I thought. So hopefully he won't be injured by then. So Nash Lawn asked me, how would the NFL address the salary cap situation and prevent super teams like the Rams and Bucs? You think we have super teams in the NFL? I don't know. I mean, it's not the same as basketball. Like in basketball, one or two all-stars can change everything and dominate the league a lot of times. Not always. I mean, I know the Milwaukee Bucks had proven that wrong. And even the Toronto Raptors kind of did that as well. They had one superstar with a bunch of good role players. But you see, it's more common, though, in basketball when you get 3 or 4, future Hall of Famers on one team. With the NFL it seems to be the ultimate neutralizer and the ultimate equalizer of all these situations that could come up if you're stacking a team, so to speak. The Rams just stacked the team. Look what happened. Robert Woods gets out. So basically, bringing OBJ was a trade. It was a trade, Robert Woods for OBJ. Would anybody trade Robert Woods for Odell Beckham Jr.? I sure as hell wouldn't. So that actually is a downgrade. So see how that works, and they got the crap beat out of them tonight. I mean, again, doesn't mean one game, but still, it's just the NFL seems to find a way to neutralize this kind of thing. People thought the Chiefs, had a loaded roster, and they did. Look at their roster. Look at the guys on both sides of the ball, and they got completely dominated by the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And then people try to say the Bucs were a super team. It didn't become a super team until Tom Brady arrived. So if Tom Brady's on your team, yeah, you become a super team, I guess. But let's not forget, people seem to focus on names. Names versus what are they bringing to the table is a different thing. Von Miller is a big name, but is he Von Miller anymore for the Rams? And Tampa Bay, okay. Mike Evans, okay, always been a big name. Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin was a under the radar type of guy, and even with Brady, he's had his moments and sometimes he struggled, but he's not what I would consider, an elite wide receiver. I think he's a very good receiver, but I wouldn't consider him elite. And Tom brings over Rob Gronkowski. Ooh, Rob Gronkowski, that's a huge name. But this is Gronk after he retired, after he's had a million gazillion back surgeries and knee surgeries and elbow surgeries and probably brain surgeries for all we know. And then you bring over Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has, been through all he's been through, doing all this crazy junk and been in and out, in and out, in and out. You bring him along, big name, but until he got with Tom, he hadn't done much for a long while actually, in football terms. Leonard Fournette was a cast-off that the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't even want. Okay, let's think about this for a second, guys. The team that sucks so bad that the NFL has pawned them off on the London people of London, and it's like the de facto London team. That crappy team, and they didn't want Leonard Fournette. So Fournette is a big name. Yeah, he's a big name. He's a big name from LSU, okay, from his college years. But what had he done in the NFL? Nothing, not a damn thing. He comes in to Tampa Bay, and boom, it's Tom Brady that made that happen. They had all those guys, the other guys before. They weren't doing anything. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers sucked. They were called the Succaneers. That's what we called them for years. So we called them for at least 15 years, I'm pretty sure. And it's what they were called when I was a kid. So it just seems the NFL has a way to neutralize that crap. Remember when the Broncos tried to pull that off in 2013? They had all these guys, they were nabbing, Welker and all kinds of dudes. It's like, what the hell, man? Stole Talib from us at one point, but how many failures did they have up until they finally got one? It's just, I don't know. And that 2015 Broncos team was not as good as the 2013 team that got completely annihilated by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So there's always somebody. You think you're a big fish, and then there's always another big fish that is ready to kick your ass. I think as a lot of y'all are Patriots fans can understand 2007, the greatest team that's ever been assembled, and we got beat by the freaking New York Giants. Eli Manning's New York Giants. And I only say that not to make fun of them because that defense was fantastic, but only to say that nobody saw it coming. Nobody. And there's always that one team that's got your number. But yeah. I just don't know to answer your question, I don't know if there's anything to be done. The salary cap situation seems to be pretty simple. You have to spend a certain amount. You can't go completely cheap. You have to at least spend, I think it's up to 75% of the cap. It might be even more than that now. And then, of course, you have the total cap, which you can't go over. But, I mean, they're already doing enough. Like, if you're a crappy team, they're giving you, the highest picks and all this stuff. It's just, the schedule helps you out. If you're a crappy team, you get to play other crappy teams. I don't know. I don't think so. Not quite. I don't see a problem yet. Not to say that there won't be, but the nature of football and the way it's done, I just don't know if you can do it like that. There's too many factors involved. So you can have those good players, but you've still got to put it together. I mean, Tom Brady's won Super Bowls with nobodies, a bunch of nobodies. He's won Super Bowls with great players. He's lost Super Bowls with great players. It's crazy. By the way, I have decided that the Detroit Lions and Pittsburgh Steelers can go suck rotten eggs. This is football. It's not soccer. Tying is not the American way. Tying is for Europeans and Brazilians or South Americans or whatever who love football, or hockey fans, or used to be like that. Tying is like doing a crap load of foreplay and then just saying, oh, you know what, I'm done for the night. It just seems all pointless, doesn't it? So tying screws up everything, screws up the formula, makes things much stranger. And I've come to the decision that I'm not going to give you credit for tying. I'm not going to give a quarterback credit for tying. And thanks to my good pal Roman, who gave me the idea, he said, why would you give a quarterback credit for tying? He didn't win. He didn't win. The point is to win. If you cannot finish the game with an extra 10 minutes, you don't deserve it, okay? You don't deserve anything. So screw you, tying. I mean, can we do something about this? Like, how much would you guys pay? Okay, let's say the NFL added a tax. Okay, they left it up to us fans, right? And they said, okay, hey, all fans, to break a tie, we're gonna have each team's field goal kicker play a game of horse. Okay, and they're just gonna use the field goals. Let's say the first kicker, he wins the coin toss. He says, okay, left upright from the 30-yard hash. Okay, cool. And then the other kicker has to do that. And then the first one who spells horse wins. Okay. Or you can even shorten it. You can play pig or whatever, right? Who wouldn't pay extra on your DirecTV Sunday ticket package or whatever it is? Who wouldn't pay just a little extra to see that? Because I'm telling you what, that would be fun. Anything but a tie. Ties suck. If a game ties, the game never happened. It never mattered. It doesn't matter. What is the point of it? You guys know that I don't like ties. You probably remember last year's incident. So, but how big of losers do the Steelers feel right now that they couldn't even you couldn't beat the 0-8 Lions you got extra 10 minutes to beat them and you still couldn't do it. You suck. Steelers, you deserve no playoff position. You deserve no wins the rest of the year, and may God have mercy on your souls. Idiots. Wow. Thank you, Daniel, for telling me it technically matters because I didn't realize that. You mean, yes, that wasn't the point. Thank you, though. So let's say that every team tied. Wouldn't that be fun? Figure that one out. Yeah, they probably will, Jalen. They probably will. But they don't deserve it. Screw them. All right. Let's talk about real quick about this. The Patriots win has worn off a bit because it, since yesterday. But how, I don't know where Addie's been, but how much of this is good Patriots? Because it is good. It is good Patriots. But a beatdown like that, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you've got to be concerned because that was absolutely pathetic. Not that they lost. I mean, every team loses, but it's just the kind of way it was and the way it went. They looked lost out there, and you know what? I know I've not heard anyone say this, but just from what I was watching, I think the Browns underestimated the Patriots. I think the Browns thought that that was a gimme win. I think when they looked at their schedule at the beginning of the season, they had that written in as a yeah, we'll go up there and we'll beat them. We'll take them out. It's no problem. We're good enough to do that. And especially cocky because they won recently. So like we don't need OBJ. Well, no, you probably didn't. In fact, I think Baker probably plays better without that idiot on the field. But I think that they did not think that the Patriots could beat them, and the Patriots at the same time they still believe that they're the Patriots. So, well, I'm telling you what, if that's the case, if people are underestimating us, if we're flying under the radar, I think that's the best thing. I think that's awesome because it's nice. It's nice if people are taking us for granted because we've always been the target. So I don't know if that's happening, but I get that vibe. I've been getting that vibe lately, actually. I think the Chargers did the same thing. I think the Chargers thought that they were just going to run all over us. So, but feel sorry for Addy. I bet it's not just him. He thought this was, Cleveland was going to be much better this year, but so did I. And I didn't expect it to be like this. Just so up and down, just all over the place. I really thought that they were making strides, and maybe they do still, but it doesn't look good, especially with being in the division with the Steelers and the Ravens. So, yeah. And it's funny that the other day I posted after Thursday night's game, after the Ravens completely bombed. What the hell was that all about? Um, the Dolphins made the Ravens look like the Dolphins. Yeah, does that make sense? Um, I wrote in the comment section on the YouTube community section. I said, nobody in the AFC really wants this thing, do they? Nobody wants the conference. It's like everyone they get close and close to taking the lead, and they're like, oh no, I don't want it. Please, somebody take it. It's just bizarre. And the Patriots said, okay, we'll take it. So at least they're trying to. They're trying to take it seriously. I know. What about Tennessee, Aaron? What about Tennessee? They look really strong right now. They look so great. Oh, yeah, yeah. Every time I buy into Tennessee, something goes wrong. They've gotten me last 2 years in a row. This would be the third year in a row that I would jump on the Titans bandwagon, only to see them completely collapse and fold. Like lawn chairs when it matters most. So yeah, they're gonna have to prove that. They're gonna have to do something significant for me to buy into that again. Thomas Allen asks, "What's next for Baker?" Oh, no, he didn't ask, actually. He made a statement. He said, "What's next for Baker?" He gets out of his pajamas. That's very well said. He seems to be better at making commercials than he does playing quarterback these days. Yeah, Lord Varsh, I think it's pretty interesting to be underrated like that and be off the radar. Kevin Godnett, oh man, I feel so bad for you, dude, being a Vikings fan. I don't know what to make of those guys. Listen, you know what? Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed for the Vikings. They're the same thing from the 90s, same thing from the 2000s, same thing now. You expect something out of them, and then nothing happens, and you don't get what they should have given you. And then when you're not expecting them to do anything, they come out and they get some weird, awkward win against a good team, and everyone's like, "Oh, have you seen the Vikings? Oh, they're playing very well right now. Did you see that Kirk Cousins? I mean, he's focused. He's, you like that? You like that? Oh yeah, that's back. That old Kirk Cousins from the Washington Redskins. Oops, I'm sorry. The DC Lizard people. Hope I don't get demonetized. I said Washington Redskins. Oh, I said it again. But anyway, and then people say, "Oh, look, Kirk Cousins is back. He's playing well. He's a good quarterback." This dude has stolen more money from franchises. This guy has gamed the system so well because he has everybody thinking that he's an elite quarterback. Everyone, all these freaking franchises, general managers, everyone thinks Kirk Cousins can play. And yeah, he can play a little, but it's insignificant stuff. It's like insignificant, like Matthew Stafford on the Detroit Lions level shit. All right, it's just like really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So, yeah, whatever. I'm sure, Kevin, that was the vote of confidence you were wanting for your Minnesota Vikings from me. Yeah, I think I probably, yeah. It's a weird year. It's a weird year. I mean, and the last few weeks has been strange too. It's just, what the hell? I don't even. It's very strange right now. Yeah, you know what? And Nash is right, Kevin. The Vikings need to fire Zimmer. Maybe they need to. He's been there forever, man. Nothing. It's like banging your head against the wall every year. You know, there's the type of franchises that always suck. And so when you suck forever, no, there's no expectations, but yet there's no stress. It's like, oh, we won a game. We're not going to be 0-16 this year. Ha ha ha! It's great. Let's throw a party. Yes. And also the ticket prices are cheap as hell, so you can take all of your white trash friends and get drunk in the top of the bleacher seats and party and all that. It's great, right? So nobody has any expectations. But then, if you're a good team, it's stressful as hell. Stressful as hell being a fan of a great team because your expectations are this high, crazy high, and any little thing is a letdown. People are talking stuff about you. But it's still, you get the satisfaction of knowing that there's something good can happen. But what about if you're a fan of a middle tier team? A team that is, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing. I experienced a lot of that when I was young. That was the Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers were the epitome of that crap. So I feel it, man. I know how you feel. Where was I? What was I talking about? Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians. Stab him in the fucking face with this pin. I bet, like, that jelly from inside of a jelly donut. I bet that would come out if you stabbed them in the stomach. I bet that would just jelly and like grease from fried chicken. I bet it would just melt down like his skin. It'd be just completely and utterly disgusting. So, okay. Bruce Arians is the single worst head coach in the history of the universe. Okay, there are terrible teams and other galaxies in the universe, and they probably have crappy coaches too, and they wouldn't be as bad as Bruce Arians. Why am I blaming Bruce Arians? Well, he's the head coach. So you have the power to either do something about some stuff, that's going wrong, or you're too stupid to know that anything's going wrong, or you're too arrogant to realize anything's going wrong. Either way, it has to stop with you. It has to. Every time teams go on runs and they win Super Bowls and stuff, everybody gives credit to the, head coach. Oh, he's the greatest coach, or one of the greatest coaches ever. Look what he done. Well, when things are going wrong, you also have to look at them too. When it comes to offense, problems on the offense, I generally leave that up to Tom, because I didn't in the first half of last year, because you could tell that Bruce Arians was trying to install his philosophy and all that crap. But then it started to get to where there was a mixture of Tom's input and Bruce's. With this year, though, this year is a bit different. From my understanding, Bruce doesn't even go into the offensive meetings now. So it's basically between Tom and Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator. So in the general sense, the offensive game plan really doesn't have anything to do with Fat Bastard. So, but what does? What would have something to do with him? The overall philosophy of how the team is, how they think, how the players act, how they approach the game, situational awareness, scheduling on how you travel, when you travel to away games, mental preparation. How strict are you? How strict are you after a loss? How strict are you after a win to make sure that they don't get full of themselves? All these things is the job of the head coach. So, the scheme wise, I'm not going to eat his lunch because, well, he wouldn't let me eat his lunch anyway. He had already eat it. So no one like Bruce Arians would leave lunch lying around. But I still wouldn't eat his lunch for the offensive scheme itself and the execution of it. That's a separate thing, in my opinion, at this point. But the overall feel of it is my problem. This vibe I'm getting from all the players that they think they can just show up and win. They think that they just oh, we're the Super Bowl champs. That didn't work out too well for the Eagles after they won in 2017. And this is exactly, and Jalen, this is exactly why I said they wouldn't go undefeated. And I'm not calling you out on that, okay? That's not what I'm doing. I understood, what your mindset was, that Tom is that great and he's got all those guys. And I'm sure you assumed that the defense that you saw in the playoffs is going to be the defense that is playing this year. And I'm sure that's what you're expecting. My point, though, is I'm just trying to say that what you're seeing right now is why I couldn't say that they would go undefeated. I knew that there would be slip-ups because I didn't trust the mental toughness and the mental awareness of what it means to be a Super Bowl champion and to go in there and know that everybody wants your head. It's ridiculously stressful. It's very hard. There's a reason why it's been almost 20 years since somebody's went back to back, because it's just too damn hard. It's hard to stay that focused. It's hard to forget about last year and not get an ego. And now these guys on the Bucs, I mean, we're seeing very good players out there. If they get touched or looked at, they're looking for a flag. They think that the catch or whatever is just supposed to happen for them, and there's not supposed to be any fighting for the ball. They just think that it's theirs and theirs alone, and you're supposed to bow down and kiss their ass, and they don't seem to have that kind of fire. And I blame the head coach for that. These penalties, this is the crap. This is the repeat of last year against Chicago. The penalties, the dumbass penalties at the wrong time. Okay, I just want to say, 19 plays for 80 yards and a touchdown. That took 10 minutes into the fourth quarter. This is against the Washington football team. Those guys. It was the longest drive in terms of duration in the NFL this season. Not only that, they converted on fourth down during all that. They had no respect, none, for the Bucs. And you end it with a touchdown when you had to hold them to a field goal. You know what Bruce Arians does? He goes in the post game and says, "Oh, those two interceptions were Tom Brady's fault." Were they? Bruce, where were you when that first interception occurred? You mean the thing that wasn't an interception, it was actually more like a fumble, okay? Tom hit him perfectly. That was a perfect pass. And the idiot, who was that guy anyway? You guys remember? Who was that dude? I know his name. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's one of those interceptions where I say that it shouldn't be on the quarterback. That's one of those. So how was that on Tom, Bruce? And the second one, okay, yeah, that looked bad. And we don't know the inner workings of the situation, but and unless it's obvious, or unless I know what's going on, or I got information, I blame the quarterback for an interception like that second one. That was on Tom. But that's not the point here. The point is that Bruce wasn't even aware of the game. He wasn't even aware of what was happening. Oh, those interceptions were on the quarterback. Really? Idiot. Listen, I had family over, and one family member was watching, doesn't even watch football that often, was looking at Bruce Arians and was like, is this guy even, what is he doing? He's just standing there. He looks like a freaking idiot statue. He is useless. As long as he's been coaching, you guys realize, I think he's the oldest coach in the NFL right now. As long as he's been around, he has to have something, some wisdom, something to come up with. I mean, he's seen a lot, right? So what is he doing? He has nothing to offer, it seems like, and it's just mind-boggling that he can't fix these things. Also, shout out to Vando S. Nobre. So Tom, I've noticed over the last 4 weeks, he's been yelling at the sidelines quite a bit, like cussing at them. I think he has zero respect for Bruce Arians at this point. I think he thinks he's an idiot and doesn't see his value. And by the way, Shannon Sharp was all going crazy today about how it's all Tom's fault and all this crap. What happened to Todd Bowles? I mean, can you see the genius of the defensive coordinator, Todd Bowles? I mean, he's amazing. He should be a head coach right now. But where is that? I want to know, because this defense sucks. They suck. This defense is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm frustrated because Tampa Bay losses bother me more than the Patriots losses bother me, because Tom doesn't have a lot of time left. So it's like I'm trying to it's just everything matters right now for Tom. The Patriots, I feel that we're just getting started again. We've kind of rebuilt the team. It's a whole new kind of situation, and I've going all the way back to the last year. I've mentally kind of just mellowed out with the Patriots, and I'm being patient. Like, I'm not getting overly excited or overly negative, unless it's like a really bad, embarrassing loss or stupid something. But in the long term, I'm not too wrapped up in it as much as I am for Tom, because we don't know how long he's got. So if he's going to win more, it's got to be now. And I feel like when it matters most, it's going to be Bruce Arians who's going to cost the team because he's not going to prepare them correctly. And he still calls the shots. And as long as he's still calling the shots on a lot of organizational things, I don't know, man. I just don't know. But this season's been very frustrating watching this Bucs team because I'm expecting good things. I'm expecting elite level playing. I'm expecting what I saw last year in the second half of the season, and I know what's happening. It's this arrogance. It's this thinking that you've got it all figured out and you've got it covered, and you don't need, you know, to focus as much or to work as hard. I mean, how do you have 2 weeks, 2 weeks to prepare for the Redskins? Oops, sorry, said that again. How do you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team like Washington and perform like that? Oh, but Aaron, the Bucs said they have injuries. All teams have injuries. All teams have injuries. Everybody has injuries. That's the name of the game. That's how it works. What we saw was not injury related. What we saw was being stupid related, not being focused, not understanding situations, not paying attention. When you're a player out there, you have to think like a coach. You have to think of the situation. What down is it? What's the yardage? What do they need? How many timeouts does the team have? How much time is left on the clock? If as a defensive player, oh man, if we don't stop them, Tom's not going to have enough time to take the lead. We better get them right here. You've got to be aware of those things. I see guys out there acting like they have no idea, like they're in the first quarter. That has nothing to do with injuries. Every player should know these things. And let me tell you something. All these guys in the NFL are elite athletes. If you have good coaching, if you have very good coaching, and the players are listening and using their brains and actually thinking about the situations, you can get a lot done not being as talented as the other guy. And this isn't not like Bruce Arians is some guy at third year in the NFL. I mean, as a head coach or something, this guy's been around forever. There's no excuses. And then when he does a post game press conference, he's huffing and puffing and acting all upset and all mad at the whole team, everybody but him. It's always everyone else. It's always somebody else. It's never him. God, I can't stand this dude. You know what? They don't need a head coach. Just get rid of him. Just fire him and I don't know, find somebody else. It's just anything. I can't stand him. I don't know what else to say. Seems like this is a constant thing every week now. With the way they've looked the last 2 games, are they going to win again? Well, we'll find out. Did Bruce Arians say they have stupid coaches too? Yeah, well, he said he had a stupid team. Yeah, he did say that. Capaccio asked, "What's the effect of a play on the opponent? Can Brady go back to New England?" I don't understand. What do you mean? I mean, Tom will go back to New England. Probably for a 1 day thing that they do, just to retire as a Patriot. But I doubt he won't. we got Mac Jones. I mean, God forbid something happens to Mac and maybe Tampa Bay. No. That's just no. It's not going to happen. No. It's just that ship has sailed probably. I just don't see that happening at all. Nor does it probably need to, I would say. But yeah, I am concerned because, like I said, we don't know how much time Tom's got left. And if things get real bad here, he's probably going to want to just retire. Why would he stick around just to deal with more idiocy? So things have got to get better, you know? So. Yeah, I got you, Tapasio. I'm with you. Okay. But we're going to have several shows this week because the Patriots and Bucs play on different nights and they both play in prime time. So we'll have those post games. Each individual one will have a post game, and also the regular show Saturday night. So. Oh, of course you could, Jalen. I mean, Tom could walk into New England right now and it'd be his job. That's not what I meant, though. That's not what I meant. Overall, it's been a weird last few weeks, but let's just hope, with the Patriots, things stay the same, keep up this high level and they're on this upward trajectory. Let's hope that they keep that up. The Thursday night game, I think, is a winnable game. For the Bucs, they better pull their head out of their asses and forget that they won the Super Bowl last year, because that doesn't mean anything right now. It doesn't mean anything. This is a new year, so they got to pretend like they haven't won. They have got to pretend like they're still chasing it. You got to stay hungry. You still got to want it. So. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. It's very late, but thank you for being with me tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys back here this Thursday night after the Pats game. Okay? And please, if you're new here, subscribe and click the like button on the video. That'd be awesome. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Thursday night. Okay. Thank you guys so much, and y'all have an awesome week.
Flag on the play if you're not subscribed to Von Allen Sports. But once you are, we'll make it up to your team in the fourth quarter. You're watching Von Allen Sports, real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now and join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go.
Von Allen Sports.